It's 7:31. Cool. I just wanted to switch up because bro, also. Hang on. Can I just say something? Thank you for actually setting the clock both times. Hey! I love people. They just leave the clocks at 12 o'clock and call it a day. Oh yeah, we kept getting the whiteboard ending much than this.
What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo.
Okay, so I actually just want to do everything this guy says now.
In case, Stanley walked upstairs to his boss's office.
Oh, what the heck? Oh yeah, there's like a puzzle or something.
Stepping into his manager's office, Stanley was once again stunned to discover what he could not have known was that the keypad behind the boss's desk guarded the terrible truth that his boss had been keeping from him. And so the boss had assigned it an extra secret PIN number, 2845. But of course, Stanley couldn't possibly have known this. Yet incredibly, by simply pushing random buttons on the keypad, Stanley happened to input the correct code.
No, I don't remember this.
Amazing. He stepped into the newly opened passageway.
Freak sometimes. Oh, I really like the graphics though. It's a bit low res, like, I'm not even bothered.
Deeper into the building, Stanley realized he felt a bit peculiar. It was a
Did he now?
stirring of emotion in his chest, as though he felt more free to think for himself, to question the nature of his job. This question would not go unanswered for long. Control facility.
You know what, bro? Life's about taking risks.
Although this passageway had the word escape written on it, the truth was that at the end of this hall, Stanley would meet his violent death.
I want to bet Minecraft parkour challenge right now. Is that Preston Players challenge I hear? That can't be it. End is never the end. End is never the end. Oh gosh. Oh. Stop.
As the machine whirred into motion and Stanley was inched closer and closer to his demise, it reflected that his life had been of no consequence whatsoever.
I'll do this.
Stanley can't see the bigger picture. He doesn't know the real story, trapped forever in his narrow vision of what this world is. Perhaps his death was of no great loss, like plucking the eyeballs from a blind man. And so he resigned and willingly accepted this violent end to his brief and shallow life. Farewell, Stanley.
Farewell, Stanley, cried the narrator, as Stanley was led helplessly into the enormous metal jaws. In a single visceral instant, Stanley was obliterated as the machine bing him instantly.
Ah, I'm not dead yet. Bro, this is so weird. And is now the end, I guess, guys.
And yet it would be just a few minutes before Stanley would restart the game, back in his office, as alive as ever. What exactly did the narrator think he was going to accomplish?
I've never done this ending before. In all my years of playing the Stanley Parable, which has been one day.
When every path you can walk has been created for you long in advance, death becomes meaningless, making life the same. Do you see now?
The blueprint shows you have something in the game. The path from Stanley's office to the first part of the game that was built. Identical to the first iteration. My iteration. That one's the best.
Oh, look at these two. How they wish to destroy one another. How they wish to control one another. How they both
This is
wish
so
to be
odd,
free.
man.
Can you see? Can you see how much they need one another? No.
Who is this
perhaps not.
narrator, man?
Sometimes these things cannot be seen.
My thing's vibrating.
But listen to me.
Controller.
You can still save these two. You can stop the program before they both fail. Turn
Who?
off your
Oh god,
PlayStation.
gosh.
There's no other way to beat this game.
Hey, they know it's the first
As you
session.
move forward, you'll be walking someone else's path. Stop now, and it'll be your only true choice.
I don't want to turn off my PlayStation,
Choose
please.
it. Don't let time choose for you. Don't let.
Is that an ending? The end is never the end, is never the end. That was so... What? That was the weirdest ever.
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean?
Do, 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 do.
Oh, new content? What does that mean, new content?
What does that mean? Nah! Nah! Let me get in the office right now, man! Open the door! Get back, Shadrach! Oh, okay, okay. The end is never the end. The end is never the end, my friend. It's never the end. Ba 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 ba.
Hello, and thank you for playing the Stanley Parable Ultra Deluxe.
2013.
As you may know, the
It's
Stanley
old.
Parable was a video game released in 2013 on home computers. After receiving critical and commercial success, it was expanded upon in 2022 with the Stanley Parable Ultra Deluxe, a reimagining of the game for consoles and home computers. The Stanley Parable Ultra Deluxe features exciting new content that broadens and expands the world of the Stanley Parable, delighting audiences the world over. Please.
Oh my days. Please, I want the pictures of the chairs.
Okay, so far
Oh,
it's an
crouch.
elevator. Nothing special yet, but I'm sure it's just the beginning of a mesmerizing adventure. I have to say, initial impressions of Stanley Parable Ultra Deluxe, mostly tedious. It's as if Oh, okay. Let's see the content. Give me the content, Stanley.
Veronica, give me the content.
All right, let's see. It's the jump circle.
Yeah, you can jump. Do, 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 do.
Is that it?
Better not be.
Surely that's not all the new content.
I paid
There has to be
$0 for
something
this.
else, right? Goodness, another elevator.
I'm gonna say,
Stanley,
better.
I have to say, initial impressions of this game are not positive. There's more. Very good. Yes.
Good.
I knew there had to be something else.
This is a bit better.
I'm ready for whatever it is.
Oh man, they need to add the jump. Thank you for enjoying the new content.
That's it? Oh, you've got to be kidding me. You see, Stanley?
Guys, it's
This
bad
is
luck,
what
so I'm walking
happens
under
when
a
greedy
ladder.
Video game end.
The end. Hi guys, this is different. Stanley.
Psst. Stanley, come over
This.
here. In the vent. I want to show you something.
Okay, but. Don't want to break my legs. Ah. The end. Yeah, I'm playing it with my feet.
Okay, you remember how cheap and unsatisfying the new Ultra Deluxe content turned out to be? Well, it got me thinking about the past and how much better the Stanley Parable used to be.
No,
So
it's
I
better
made
now.
something special and tucked it away
No,
here where the
bro.
game's developers won't find it.
Bro,
Just
let me up
our
there.
little secret. Take a look.
Bro, I was literally trying to take a look. Yo!
I call it the Memory Zone. It's where I've been
This
storing
is-
all my favorite memories so I can relive the peak experiences of my life whenever I
So
want.
the Mystery Shack.
Experiences like the launch of
Uncle
the Stanley
Stan.
Parable was before it was sullied with a cheap PlayStation port.
Excuse me?
Remember back in October of 2013 when the game originally launched? Back then, video games had integrity. Back then, it all meant something. Oh, the waste.
Memory, sweet memory. Ah, 2013, when the Stanley Parable was released. This is actually funny. Oh. The original remake. Buy on pressurized gas.
No, oh God, no, Stanley. It's a collection of reviews from Pressurized Gas, the extremely popular online storefront for computer games. I haven't looked at these in years. I can't even imagine what's been collecting down here. Surely these reviews were glowing as well, weren't they?
I've never been on pressurized gas before. For those who do not know, pressurized gas is actually a pun for steam, because steam is pressurized gas. I just didn't realise it at the time. Enjoy this riveting gameplay from now on. Yeah. So it's pressurized gas is just a pun for steam. Yeah.
Of profound philosophical insights that I can't even imagine where I'd have the room to stick them.
Oh, wall jump.
Okay, let's see what this one says. While the idea for the game is good, for someone who prefers non-linear games, this preachiness gets annoying fast. Preachy? Stanley? I'm not preachy, am I? You can tell me if I'm preachy. Honestly, you can. Oh, goodness. This is actually quite shocking for me. Well, to be honest, I had always thought of the game's dialogue as being rather terse to begin with. You can't know how much fluff I cut from the game to get it to feel as light and airy as it... Well, I always thought it did.
Yeah, it is. Stop bullying, man.
What an awful memory to have to hold on to.
Yeah,
These
thingy.
black marks on my otherwise unimpeachable track record.
Yeah, it's a good
I
game,
feel
man. It's
like a
good.
failure. Like I let these people down.
You did it,
Perhaps
Joe.
the Stanley parable isn't
Right
quite
here.
as sterling as I always remembered.
Okay, so Minecraft.
You constantly have to stop doing anything so the narrator can catch up with his long-winded explanations of what's happening. I wish there was a skip button.
Oh, it's the skip bit.
Views from the record. Only positive reviews of the Stanley parable.
Oh.
That's my motto today, and it's always been my motto. I'd do anything for the customer.
Yeah, you can like.
Yes, a skip
I remember
button
it.
we shall have.
Well, I've seen some of it.
And here it is. Go. Oh, you're back, you see. You were only frozen in time for a few minutes, but it was plenty of time for me to deliver a long, rambling monologue full of unnecessary verbal flourishes and lengthy ruminations on the nature of choice in video games. Of course, I happen to believe it was perhaps one of my more profound such ruminations. Not that, of course, you need a description of it, but if I had to describe it, I'd say it was perhaps less of a rumination and more of a treatise. Or
Okay, so it's 1
maybe
o'clock.
a manifesto. Well, there, sport. You really did catch me rambling on a bit, didn't you? But that's the power. of
Okay,
the
so now
button.
it's been
The minute I start
15
to go
minutes.
off on a thoughtless display of self-absorption. Okay, welcome back, Stanley. Now, I should say that the amount of time the button has been skipping through is becoming longer and longer. That last one was, well, I want to say maybe 30, 45 minutes? It's not unendurable by any means, but it's, well, there's really only so much I can ramble on to myself about. I know, it's shocking, isn't it? Stanley, please don't push the button again.
It's been like an
12
hour.
hours.
Oh,
You've just been frozen there. I don't know why the skips are getting longer, but they're... Oh, Stanley, you're back. You're back. Oh, my goodness. I have someone to talk to again. Stanley, I think it's been a week. Oh, hello. It's you. You're here again. Welcome. I have had time to think about you and about us. And
No,
about
no, I wanna
everything
see what it
we've
says.
been through. I've had so much time. I stopped keeping track after a year.
What?
Have you ever sat down in one place and not moved for one entire year? Let me
Yeah.
describe it for you. To
School.
begin with, there is only regret. But they didn't understand the game was never meant to be funny. It was meant to have a point. It was meant to speak to the human condition. But where are the jokes? Where are the jokes? They bemoaned, they screamed, they gnashed their teeth and said, entertain us. It wasn't enough. They had to leave a pathetic little thumbs-down review and
Bruh.
make all of their pitiful demands. But then, he's talking too much, they said. First, he didn't entertain us, now he won't shut up. It's the inconsistency, it's the lack of accountability, it's the
I remember the bit where it goes, the end is never the end, is never the end, and he just keeps saying that.
The end is never the
Yeah.
end, is never the 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 end.
Oh, I'm like on an angle. Is that? New content.
Oh, good. You noticed my sign. Yes, I have something very exciting to show you.
Is this the thing you've already shown me? This must be different, right? Stanley Parable.
And about how roundly disappointing this ultra deluxe version of
No, it isn't, man!
The original Stanley Parable was a landmark, and any new content for it should live up to that legacy. So forget this ultra deluxe nonsense. I say we take it one step even further.
Stop.
Which is why
Don't go that fast.
proud to announce for the first time ever the Stanley Parable 2.
Oh wait, I've seen this, but I don't remember it.
Yes, you see, isn't this far superior to a measly port with a few minor additions? Think of all the new territory we'll cover with a fully fledged sequel. Now, here's something special.
Better actually give me a trophy.
Test trophy that got left in the game on accident? Well, I'm developing a technology to simply give you the trophy.
Better give me the trophy.
You see, you'll come to this lever, and when you pull it, the trophy will be given to you. It's as simple as that.
Oh, it's going to like blow me up, isn't it?
Okay, perhaps I should have clarified. This is technology that will exist.
Oh my
Now,
god.
the trophy is still fully broken. I'm not a wizard, Stanley, but I guarantee it will be fixed in the sequel to at last satisfy the hordes of ravenous fans all over the world who have been uproariously demanding this feature. Gamers, we hear you, and I promise it will happen.
I do. Is this like just a joke, or are they... Is this like just a joke, or are they actually gonna make like a Stanley Parable 2? Probably just a joke, right? This is like massive, but like, you know what else is massive?
What other exhibits haven't we seen yet?
This was here last time.
You know what? Let's bring the jump circle back for Stanley Parable 2 as well. It's a... Oh, wait. You already spent all your jumps the first time we saw the jump circle. Oh well. I suppose it can just be a nice decorative piece then.
Well, nothing even works. Collectibles. Wow. Wow, wow.
Ah, collectibles. Now it's a real video game. In the Stanley Parable 2, you'll run around gathering up these miniature Stanley figurines. And what's truly innovative is that there will be no reward for collecting all of them. I don't want to stifle the intrinsic joy of watching a number go up. You simply collect all of them, and then you move the hell on with your unremarkable life. God, it really is the worst when you collect everything in a video game and then they give you a big fancy reward for it. Absolutely tragic.
No. Infinite hole. Excuse me. Oh, that's just the thing. Infinite hole.
Stanley, here's an idea that I'm truly fond of. It's never been done before in a video game. This is, in fact, a hole that you can fall down forever. That's right. Infinite falling. You can fall until the end of time, if you like. A stunning leap forward for video games as a medium. You see, isn't it wonderful? One of my more ingenious concoctions, if I do say so. Now then, since you've gotten to see the infinite hole, you can press the teleport button to pop back up to the top, and we can continue onward. Now, I don't mean to be a bummer, but I do recommend you use the teleport button to go back to the top.
What if we just
sooner rather than later spectrum of things. Okay, Stanley, I don't know quite how to say this tactfully, but it's possible that I slightly exaggerated the infinite nature of the hole. Is it a very, very deep hole? To be certain it is. It's an extremely deep hole. I don't want anyone to say that it isn't an astonishing... Great! Now, I'm very excited to show you even more of my ideas for the sequel. Okay. And I guess we're back in the hole now.
Yeah, I love
hole.
hole.
Need to see it again? I don't know what else there is to say, Stanley. It's an infinite hole. It's exactly what you're doing right now, but forever. There really are so many other fascinating exhibits that I've prepared for you. I really spent quite a lot of time on all this, and I would very much like to show you some more of them. How about we go ahead and press that teleport button again, so we can get back to what's really important about... Oh, goodness. Well, this is rather embarrassing, Stanley. I'll be honest with you. I truly did not believe that anyone would actually stay in the hole long enough to hit the bottom. Yes, I know, I told you the hole was infinite, but come on. Who actually wants to fall forever? The hole was plenty deep. It was more than deep enough, in my opinion. Maybe it's you who likes falling too much. Maybe you're the problem. Look, things got a little heated there. I think we both said some things we didn't mean. Why don't we just put all this behind us and agree to just call the hole mostly infinite? If that works for you, then go ahead and press the teleport button to warp up to the top of the hole and we can move on. I'll just be up here when you're... Oh, for heaven! You see, I was right. The problem is you. The problem is that you like holes too much. Not normal. A normal person would have said, yep, that's an infinite hole right there, goes on forever till the end of time. Don't need to see it all, but not you. Oh, no, 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 no. You have a weird sort of...
I swear it's getting shorter.
Did the hole seem even shorter to you this time? I couldn't help but feel like you spent a little less time in there than you did before. I mean, admittedly, I didn't make an infinite hole, but I didn't think it was that not infinite. Well, I suppose once again there's nothing to do here. If you decide you've had enough of the hole, you can hit the teleport button and come join me up above. Had enough? I'm positively thrilled. Gosh, how could I have guessed? You're back in the hole. If this starts to become a thing where...
That was very short.
Yeah. I'm starting to become extremely certain that the hole is not only not infinite, but that it's growing steadily less and less infinite. I suspect that I'm starting to hit the point where it's no longer feasible to call the hole infinitely deep, even by the lax overall standards for accountability in marketing. What's going on here? Stanley, I have no explanation for the uncertain nature of the hole's length. Here, let's try something. Let's pop back up to the top, and we'll see if it gets any shorter. Well, there it is. The shame of my... How is this still appealing to you? I know you're obsessed with holes, but at this depth, I just can't see this scratching the itch. Oh, who am I to judge? You just do whatever it is you're here to do and hit the teleport button when you're ready to move on. Is the,
Yes,
teleport
bro.
button not
Get me
working?
back up, little bro.
You sure? Well, I mean, I really don't have an explanation.
Oh, it
Still
was
nothing.
you.
Well, I suppose there is one thing I can do to fix this. I'm out. Goodbye, Stanley. You couldn't bear to be away from the hole. Now you'll get more time with it than you could ever have asked for.
It
It's
was a
win for
joke.
everyone.
I was just trying to
You
make
get
you
to be with
mad.
the hole, I get to do lit.
No. No. Oh. No. 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 Hole. Wait. No. It's kind of a banger. What? What is this game?
My head's stronger. Now you're no longer using your.
Ah. What is this game? What is this game? What is it? Cas van der Pol.
Stanley! Oh,
Okay.
good, you're awake.
Oh.
It seems you had sort of dozed off there, drifting away into dreamland. But we can't have that, Stanley, because this hole is just so darn fascinating that I want you to be wide awake for every second of it.
Oh, he looks sad. Let's go to the exit. Epilogue. I don't see a colon. B squared. The reassurance bucket. I don't know what the reassurance bucket does. How do we get up there? The what's new bit.
A common complaint
Oh
of
my
the Stanley
god.
Parable was that it was confusing and
This video's gonna be
paradoxical,
so long, man.
that it engendered a chaotic sense of reckless despair in those who played it. Well, I'm happy to say that after much consideration, I've engineered a clever solution to this fundamental problem with the game. It's the Stanley Parable Reassurance Bucket. You see, Stanley, anytime you're holding the bucket, a sense of calm and ease will fill your mind and your heart. It's true. As long as you hold on to the bucket, the many disorienting contradictions of the Stanley Parable will feel perfectly normal and perhaps even comforting. You may even come to long for the gentle embrace of jarring cognitive dissonance while the bucket is in your arms. And to be honest, it's a much more convenient solution for me than actually redesigning the game to be less uncomfortable. Can you imagine what a pain in the ass that would be? Yes, the bucket is the perfect solution.
Ah ha ha ha! Not laughing no more. I love so my granddad.
Can you feel it? The glow of comfort, even in the face of crushing despair, must already be sweeping through your body. And in fact, can I say that I do believe the bucket lends you an air of charisma as well? I think that just holding it
Charisma?
has made you the slightest bit more attractive as a person.
Where's my
The
R
benefits
increase,
of the bucket
bruv?
seem to go on and on, don't they? All this and more await you in the Stanley Parable 2.
Okay, I don't really care anymore. Raising the yacht away.
Does anyone give out awards for most enjoyable bucket in a video game? That really
How do you
should
get
be
up
an
there?
award if it isn't already.
No, Minecraft bucket is the most rewarding. Up here. Epilogue.
An epilogue would be fun, wouldn't it, Stanley? Yes, it would go at the end of the, well, we'll figure that out later.
What's up here? Oh man. Exit. I think I've been everywhere but here. But I swear it's getting increasingly more like I just heard exit. I wanna leave. Oh yeah!
Have you seen
Poppy
everything you wanted to?
Playtime
Ready
is
to
what
move
is
on
it?
now?
I might buy Poppy Playtime, guys, I'm not gonna lie. Cause I've never played it. Excuse me?
So, Stanley, what do you think? Do you like all of the new features? Yes,
Honestly,
I know it's
yeah,
not
this has
exactly
been
clear
sick.
yet how
Like
exactly
Ultra
these features
Deluxe,
will
and
come
there's like
together as one
it's been
single
like an hour
coherent
and a
video
half.
game, but I
It's
can
like
feel it in my
a lot.
soul. It's going to
Yeah, my
work.
fingers.
There's definitely a good game in there somewhere. So
There
let's
is.
do an experiment. I'll arrange these new features together, and we'll see whether or not it coheres into a meaningful gameplay experience. Okay. Are you ready? Here it is. I give you the
Stanley Parable 2.
Well, I mean, there's potential here, right? It's
Yes.
sort of Okay, never mind.
It's a game, isn't it?
Hold on.
I'll
Let me
play
do a
it.
different arrangement.
If there's a game, then I'll play
Okay,
it.
yes, this is much better. I feel good about this. Here we go. Version 2. Who am I kidding, Stanley?
I like
This
it,
isn't a
man.
coherent video game at all. It's a lot of gags. And I do very much enjoy creating gags, but they don't add up to anything.
They add up to fun
I
time,
wanted
fun
more
laughter
than
time.
anything to create a sequel that would capture all the magic of the first game.
He's dead.
I wanted fans to love it. No matter how good these gags are, they won't stand on their own. They would need the structure and the gameplay of the original. Wait, maybe that's it. I can take the original Stanley Parable and simply, well, insert a few of my new features into it. Tastefully, of course.
It's
With
not going to be
respect.
tasteful.
With care for the vision and integrity of the original game. Would it possibly work? I suppose it could. But it would need a really, really tremendous title screen. A title screen that says with bold and uncompromising conviction, "This is the Stanley Parable 2.
The music
Let me
is...
see if I can whip something up. All right, perfect. Go ahead. Take a look.
Oh yeah, more session videos coming your way, guys. And Tommy Hank, Tony Hawk. It's the Stanley Parable 2.
This is the story of a man named Stanley.
Hey!
All of
The-
his co-workers were gone.
The
What could it mean?
balloons!
Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo. Stanley picked up the bucket.
Let me open the doors. No, where's the extra content gone? Oh no, we're in there.
Stanley clutched the bucket tightly to his chest and entered the door on his left. This was not the correct way to the meeting room, but Stanley had felt the bucket calling to him, telling him that the employee lounge was simply the place to be. And here it was. Had the bucket turned out to be correct? Was this better than the meeting room? Yes, Stanley thought to himself. Yes, perhaps it truly... No, never mind. The bucket was wrong. Stanley took the door on his left to go back to the meeting room. And so the two of them detoured through the maintenance section and walked straight ahead to the opposite door.
Oh, I've never been here. Bro, I could literally play this all day, man.
Oh, good, Stanley. I'm glad you found your way here. I knew you'd find this place eventually. You see, your friends and I are concerned for you, Stanley.
Is this
We've
like
come
real
together
or is
here
just
because we
Stanley
care
Parable
about you
2?
very much. It's this bucket you're carrying around everywhere. The bucket isn't even from the original Stanley Parable. It's just sequel content. We're the ones that matter, Stanley. Classic characters from the first game, like the Adventure Line and the Broom Closet. Because that's what fans want from a sequel. They want more of their favorite jokes, not this bucket that they've never seen before. Yes, I know I'm the one who gave you the bucket, but you're spending too much time with it. Don't you want another story involving the Adventure Line? We could make the Adventure Line go somewhere new. Yes, yes, that's what the fans want. Let's do it. Whee! Look at that wacky line. Who knows where it'll go off to next? Oh, and it played some silly music as well.
Stop putting train marker for... Da, da, da.
Now This is what the Stanley Parable is all about. Don't you remember all those great jokes from the original dialogue?
Also, Stanley is addicted to drugs and hookers.
Yeah, I remember that.
Yes, it's as classic now as it was back then. Let's do it for the fans, Stanley. Let's give them more content exactly like this. But if we want to do that, you're going to have to give something up.
No. It's mine. You're not taking the bucket from me.
Don't you get it, Stanley? We need to get rid of the bucket. That's
Don't you
why
touch
I'm
bucket.
very proud to introduce a brand new character.
No, don't you touch bucket.
This is the Bucket Destroyer.
No!
I think it'll make a wonderful new addition to the rich lore of the Stanley Parable. True, it also was not in the original game, but it's such a well-fleshed-out character with so much personality that to me it already feels as though it's been part of the cast all along. Don't you agree? Can you guess what the Bucket Destroyer does? Surely you don't need me to spell it out for you. Go ahead now, Stanley. Say goodbye to the bucket, and then pop it into the machine when you're ready.
No.
Now listen to me. It's crucial that you give it the bucket. I don't know what the Bucket Destroyer will do if it can't destroy your bucket. Destroying buckets is all it knows. That is its singular personality trait. Sure, I can hear you saying, how does a character with only one personality trait deserve to join the pantheon of beloved Stanley Parable characters? Well, you see, if you were to really explore the Bucket Destroyer, you would see that its desire to crush buckets is so densely loaded with complexity and nuance that it's really like 10 personality traits. What other object in this game can you even say that about? The broom closet? Certainly not. I wonder what sort of Bucket Destroyer merchandise the fans will be clamoring for after this. Okay, the Bucket Destroyer is getting very upset now. You'll have to hurry and feed it. We can't get back to the classic Stanley Parable characters like the Adventure Line or the Bucket Destroyer until you crush that damn bucket. Quickly now, the fans are waiting. Do it, the fans, Stanley.
No.
Give the fans what they want.
Yeah.
Hurry and- Bucket Destroyer, my prized creation. You had so much potential. We were going to do such marvelous things with you, tell such spellbinding stories about you. All of it squandered now. Goodbye, new friend. For the moment in time that you were here, you were magnificent.
What? End is never the end, my friend. The end is never the... My friend, the end. End is never the end, my friend.
All of his co-workers were gone.
Is it
What
like
could
that
it
forever
mean?
now?
Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo. Stanley lifted the bucket into his arms, and a wave of comfort rushed over him. Stanley clutched the bucket tightly to his chest and entered the door on his left. This was not the correct way to the meeting room.
Don't care.
But Stanley had felt the bucket calling to him, telling him that the employee lounge was simply the place to be. And here it was. Had the bucket turned out to be correct? Was this better than the meeting room? Yes, Stanley thought to himself. Yes, perhaps it truly was. How insightful the bucket turned out to be.
Bro. I don't know if I'm kind of done with the sequel one, because it's getting a bit dead.
Never mind. The bucket was wrong. Stanley took the door on his left to go back to them, and so the two of them detoured through the maintenance section and walked straight ahead to the opposite door. Still no one was here. Stanley needed the bucket's warmth and comfort now more than ever. Perhaps his boss's office was where he'd find answers. Oh, Stanley, can you feel it? The broom closet. It wants the bucket. You can feel that, can't you? The aura of jealousy? It's as clear as day. This broom closet believes it deserves the bucket. I can really feel it now. It's a bucket. It belongs in a broom closet. That's what the broom closet is trying to say here. It's supposed to go with the other cleaning supplies. Good for you, Stanley. Don't give in. Don't hand over the bucket. I know how hard it must be, given the pressure that the broom closet is putting on your shoulders right now, but you have to be strong. This is your bucket. This is your companion and lifelong friend. You can't hand it over. Oh, no. We're getting into name-calling now, it seems. Is this how low the broom closet has sunk, that it has to resort to this stream of petty insults simply in order to get you to hand over the bucket? Stanley, I never liked this broom closet for a variety of reasons, but even this is worse than I had imagined. And wait, now the broom closet has the gall to imply that you and the bucket are not truly deep and lasting friends? That your relationship is purely superficial and convenient? That your life is so banal and meaningless that you'd feel the same sort of kinship towards any inanimate object which happened to lay in your path in an even partially enticing manner? Well, I never. Go on, Stanley. Lay into it. Really tell the broom closet off for its demeaning comments. Expand on the wide variety of experiences you were... Coming to a staircase, Stanley and the bucket walked upstairs to the boss's office.
I really didn't care about that bucket though. Ain't gonna lie. Kinda just wanna get done with the sequel though, bro. Like, it was funny, like, haha, funny joke, but like...
Stepping into his manager's office, Stanley was once again stunned to discover not an indication of any human life. Crushed by the weight of this revelation, Stanley may have broken down into an emotional dumpster fire if not for the soothing presence of the bucket. Even now, in his darkest of hours, did the bucket's warmth and guiding light pierce the dark clouds of confusion and chaos. It would be with him always. The bucket would, and he knew it. The two of them were inseparable.
What?
At this point, Stanley was so absorbed in the tender spiritual connection he shared with the bucket that he didn't notice the keypad behind the boss's desk. Nor in his bliss of simply being near the bucket did he have any notion that the PIN number for the keypad was 2845. But Stanley guessed the correct code by sheer luck. Was it what the bucket knew all along? Was the bucket guiding him? Yes, this is certainly the most logical explanation. You found one of them. One of the miniature Stanley figurines. Remember, no reward for collecting all of these, only the intrinsic pleasure of a job well done. You can't buy that sort of happiness, Stanley. God knows I've tried. So, I implore you to savor each and every moment you come across one of these beautiful figurines.
The end is never the end. End is never the end.
The elevator raced downward, plummeting towards an unknown fate. It would be all Stanley could do to keep himself together, if not for the bucket. Soothing him, comforting him, reassuring that in this darkest moment of uncertainty, he would be all right. The bucket is here for you, Stanley. Everything will be fine.
Let's actually do the ending now.
Stanley and the bucket walked straight ahead through the large door that read, Mind Control Facility. The lights rose on an enormous room packed with television screens. What horrible secret did this place hold? Stanley and the bucket both wondered to themselves.
We should turn this into a book. Oh, that's a really good book. Right, choose your own ending book.
The monitors jumped to life, and Stanley nearly dropped the bucket in shock.
Fired.
Everyone in the office was being videotaped, monitored like guinea pigs. The bucket had never seen anything like this, and it very nearly burst into tears as Stanley cradled it gently, reassuring it that everything would be fine. Was the bucket under the mind control facility's influence as well? Had the bucket been told to do things it didn't wish to do? What kinds of things does a bucket want to do or not want to do in the first place? These questions raced furiously in Stanley's feeble mind. No! He screamed into the bucket. He couldn't accept it. His own life in someone else's control. Never! He squeezed the bucket tighter. His one friend in the entire world. At this point, he could trust no one except for the bucket. But here was the proof. The heart of the operation. Controls labeled with emotions, happy or sad or content. Walking, eating, working, all of it monitored and commanded from this very place. And as the cold reality of his past began to sink in, Stanley decided that this machinery would never again exert its terrible power over another human life.
Let's end this, bro.
And the bucket would dismantle the controls.
Oh my god!
Two best friends, Stanley and the bucket, up against the world. They high-fived in a really cool...
I know what happens if you press on.
Stanley and the bucket waited in blackness. Was it over? Yes!
Oh yeah, this is the ending I was on about.
Stanley and the bucket had defeated their greatest and darkest enemy, freed themselves from the tyrannical grip of the evil mind control machine. Freedom was now mere moments away. Excitedly, the two of them began to discuss the kind of life they wanted to live once they stepped through this massive door. The bucket wanted to learn to roller skate. Stanley wanted to sneeze in every country on Earth. Both of them wanted to begin watching a movie, any movie, but then stop it halfway through and begin watching it in reverse from the end. True, it was a simple life they envisioned, but it was one they'd lived together, with one another to lean on, to trust, to support, and to...
Bucket.
What? Wait. What was happening?
No, that's done usually.
Why had the door stopped?
Bro,
Was Stanley and the bucket not about to be freed? An unbearable silence filled the room, lingering in uncertainty, until finally the truth hit Stanley square in the face. This building did not want the bucket to leave. Even the facility itself recognized the incredible calming presence of the bucket, needed the soothing warmth of the bucket, would go to any lengths not to part with the bucket. No. Stanley can't leave this place, not while he has such a precious bucket in his arms, not while this building has anything to say about it. Stanley realized he would never again leave this very room, but at least he has the bucket. To be trapped eternally in darkness isn't really so bad, Stanley thought to himself. As long as I have my bucket with me, right? I'll be okay, won't I? Stanley gulped. Very soon now, he was about to find out.
Is this? Okay guys, I think I'm gonna leave this video here. It's been a very long time. If you just press begin the game again, it should go back to normal times. Normal Stanley Parable, not Stanley Parable sequel. If we go to the menu, Yeah, I'm gonna leave the video here anyway, guys. It's been really fun to make. It's not gonna be fun to edit. So, see you tomorrow, y'all.